granted, the men who wrote the Bible had a 50-50 chance of hitting upon the truth that the universe had a beginning. Alone, this does not make the case for the divine inspiration of Scripture, and I never said it did. Regarding the observations that I made toward the end of my Big Bang video, of course they were after the fact. One could hardly make an observation in light of scientific discoveries that have yet to be made. Regarding Weinberg, well, having done a bit of research and reading of my own, it appears you are correct. The universe wasn't bathed in light at the beginning, at least not as we know it. However, it was not that light did not exist, but as you mentioned, that photons couldn't travel any measurable distance before bumping into other particles and being re-emitted. Light from such an environment would have what was called a black body spectrum. As to the rest of Genesis 1, and yes, I have read it, I have already mentioned that the Bible is not the scientific textbook, and that Genesis 1 is clearly not written in a scientific manner. In fact, the manner in which Genesis 1 is written is highly creative, highly stylized and very structured. For that reason, my after-the-fact observations should not be treated as the intended interpretation even of the first 3 verses. And also for that reason, I don't think that Genesis 1 is intended to be interpreted literally as describing 6 24-hour days. The framework interpretation, and I won't go into it now, but I would recommend that you look it up on Wikipedia for a basic understanding. The framework interpretation, I believe, is a better way of understanding that particular chapter of Scripture. And I believe it is for 3 reasons. First, it takes seriously the structure, the style and creative nature of the text. Second, it predates the literal 6 24-hour day interpretation and the whole Darwin creationism debate, having first been penned centuries earlier by Augustine, who lived from 354 to 430 AD. Third, it sits quite comfortably within the mainstream of current scientific thought on the theory of evolution by natural selection. Finally, I don't quite understand why we're suddenly talking about prophecy. Genesis 1 is not, the first 3 verses of Genesis are not prophecy, so it's not a prediction. Your statement that not one of the prophecies in the Bible has come true is, well, basically wrong, and your dismissal of the messianic prophecies as being self-fulfilling is, well, quite convenient. It's also not true. It's absolutely impossible that Jesus of Nazareth could self-fulfill all of the messianic prophecies made in the Old Testament about the coming Messiah. But that is really another subject for another video, and I'll probably do one on prophecy sometime in the future. If you're still watching, feel free to come back to me on it then. Okay, well, that's, as I said, the end of my contribution to this debate. You're free to come back to me on this, David, if you want to, and we'll leave it at that and let people decide what they want to decide. Okay, cheers, thank you, bye.